a very special commemoration on a very special individual. I want you to introduce it. I want you to talk about why this, who this gentleman is and why it's important.
Well, the person I'm talking about is, I wanted to highlight is a guy named Woody Williams. And Woody Williams is a Marine Corps vet from the 21st Marines, 3rd Marine Division, who fought on Iwo Jima and Guam. And he was the nation's last surviving Medal of Honor recipient from World War II. And he would tell you that that is the start of his service, certainly not the end. And he's proven that through his support to Gold Star families and Gold Star monuments across the nation. And just a lifetime of service and honor. And Woody Williams is a national hero who died this morning at about 10 o'clock Eastern, and who deserves every bit of exposure he can get in what the Woody Williams organization and foundation is doing across the country.
So, Colonel, tell us about Woody. These are heroic, historic battles, right? And in fact, this weekend we're going to be talking a little bit about this as we have these 4th of July specials. Tell us a little bit about Woody. Where's he from? And tell us about his participation in these two historic battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa.
Sure, absolutely. Woody is from Quiet Dell, West Virginia, and that is also in West Virginia is where he passed away this morning. And he joined the Marines, and then he went through Guam, and then ended up on Iwo Jima. And in February 1945 is a battle where he was involved in that earned him the Medal of Honor as he going through boxes, flamethrowers, and grenades, and putting his life to save his comrade and get continue to move forward on that desolate island. And he is one example of heroism on that island of so many that were there. He would tell you that he's just carrying the Medal of Honor for so many other Marine veterans who were there as well. He was not the only hero at all.
Colonel, can you? We just had a technical problem, I think, a little bit with your Wi-Fi. Just hit us, give it to us again. Tell us about his service and actually how he was awarded the Medal of Honor.
Sure. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened, but yeah, he when he enlisted in the Marines, he ended up in the Pacific Theater. He fought in Guam, and where he earned the Medal of Honor was the Iwo Jima battle. And when you read through his citation and learn about his history, which I've got more history from a friend of ours named Rick Clay, who told us about Woody's exploits in West Virginia itself. But in Iwo Jima, he did what every Marine was doing on Iwo Jima, really, which was running through the pillboxes that the Japanese were occupying with machine guns, and he was clearing them out with flamethrowers and grenades and putting his life at risk every single second so he could continue to move forward and bring his fellow Marines forward and achieve the objectives they had on Iwo Jima. He put his life at great risk. And, you know, to be able to live to 98 and to continue the service that started with putting your life at risk in that way in America's one of America's most famous battlefields of Iwo Jima, it's an incredible story that I think needs to be out there, and everybody needs to see it today as he passed away this morning near 10 a.m.
Tell us about the foundation with Woody. A big day, the last surviving medal, the greatest generation's last surviving Medal of Honor winner from World War II, and some of the most brutal conflicts, places like Iwo Jima, as a Marine. And a guy who meant so much for so many. Tell us about the foundation and how. And he's from West by God, Virginia. On top of all that, one of my favorite states. What? Tell us. How do people get to the foundation? What's the foundation doing now? And then I want to hear about your work. People don't know the Colonel is one of these guys that's grinding all the time, working with and for patriots all throughout the country. So tell us about Woody.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, he's the important one here for sure. And WoodyWilliams.org is the website, and that's the foundation there that's actually run by his grandson, Brent. And if you look through that website, you quickly get a very good sense of how active he is and how busy he is. He has been all the way up to the final stages of his life. In fact, his mind was intact all the way to the end, and his body just gave out. But if you are involved or hear anything about Gold Star families and the work done to put memorials around the country for Gold Star families, Woody Williams is the name that's going to come up at some point. In fact, Montana was the last of the 50 states to put in a Gold Star family monument this Memorial Day, and he could not get out here. We wish he could have for sure. But his support to recognition of Medal of Honor winners around the country, to the Gold Star families who he thought should get greater recognition because he was delivering, the Western Union telegrams to families who lost people in combat. And he thought that was just not enough. You kind of go back to that, the We Were Soldiers movie, and how people just had Western Union show up and deliver a telegram, and that was it. And he said that was just not enough, clearly. And so the Gold Star Family Support and the Woody Williams Foundation was founded to support those efforts to make it what it should be across this nation.
Tell us about some. By the way, Rick Clay too, another great guy out in West Virginia. So you got so many great patriots out there. Tell us about your work, sir.
Yeah, I work with a couple different organizations that are worth mentioning here, and one of those is Restore Liberty, and that is a nationwide grassroots coalition involved in a lot of things. In fact, I'm glad you mentioned Colorado because we're somewhat involved with our organization there, helping with elections, specifically in El Paso County, helping figure out what happened with the elections and whether or not anything else was going on behind the scenes that people should know about. Ultimately, though, we magnify the 9th and 10th Amendments, and we want to bring back governance the way it's intended to be, where states are predominant, individuals are predominant, and the federal government is extremely limited in its powers because it's a contract with us, and they're in violation. Also, in supporting that, I'm a board member and outreach director for Veterans for America First, and both us with Restore Liberty and Veterans for America First, we reach out and try to find the kind of candidates that are worthy of service to this nation, who aren't out for power or money or position, but think that our job is to serve the people of this nation. And in fact, a quote from Woody is perfect here. It says, "The cause is greater than I." And so with Restore Liberty and Veterans for America First, our job is to actually restore liberty to this nation in any way that we can for the sake of our kids and their grandkids. And if we can't do that, or if we don't engage in that particular fight right now, all could be lost, and it could go to be like some of those countries where I've served in that were former communist bloc or actually communist. And to see that suffering is something we must prevent in any way we can here.
I think it's one of the most powerful things we got. The example of guys like Woody is that this generation, Colonel, from you to Captain Bannon to all of them, to the youngest enlisted people coming in, have realized that folks have fought on all these foreign battlefields for democracy and for the ideals of America. Now you got to fight here in the United States, right? We got to make sure we sort this thing out, and we're going to sort it out. We got this. We just got to execute. And I know the liberal left hates that when I say that, but they're going to have to live with it. Or if not, there's all kind of options. You can leave, you can take off, or you can live with it. You're going to have, that's going to be your range of alternatives, as we say. It ain't going to be, you're not going to be in power anymore. Those days are over, as people put their shoulders to the wheel to give the Democratic Party a crushing, shattering blow, politically institutional Death Star blow on 8 November. Colonel, social media, how do people get to the websites, social media?
For us, it's restore-liberty.org, and you can also put in veteransforamericafirst.org. Both organizations are on the internet as well. Social media, multiple platforms for Restore Liberty. We're on about 15 platforms, so all the major ones and some of the minor ones, and Telegram, we are there. Veterans for America First is the same, and we would love to see you come support both organizations, but I wanted to make sure that the final word was that please go to woodywilliams.org and support their efforts, because I can guarantee you through his family and those people that are associated, they're going to continue the mission that Woody Williams started for as long as they possibly can. So we appreciate the time to tell you about him and about these organizations, at least that I'm involved in. And again, we thank you for giving us a little bit of time on your show.